Real 92.3. Got the honor to sit down and, you know, have these conversations with, I'll call them the homegrown homies, man. Salute to MixedbyALi. Again, EngineEars. Everything he's doing with this platform, y'all give it up. Y'all give it up. Because y'all getting some gems and some really, really great conversations and things that you can apply to your career. And I said it earlier, that's life-changing. And the homies that's sitting with us right now, we got Mike and Keys in the building. Y'all give it up for Mike and Keys. Grammy nominated, you know what I mean? Had a lot of work on that Victory Lap, Nipsey Hussle, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, I just kind of want to start off with that, man. Just obviously rest in peace to the homie. You guys were there day in and day out, you know, and we go way, way back. But for the people that don't know the story of Mike and Keys, kind of break that down for them. How everything started for you guys, how you got together, and we'll get into the specifics of Victory Lap.
Well, we started as the Futuristics.
Right.
On MySpace.
Wow.
We all met on MySpace.
Who remember MySpace? Come on now, act like y'all didn't have no profile in top 8s and all that shit. Acting bougie right now. So you started off on MySpace?
I met Keys on rockbattle.com. Was a producer website for, you know, basically like BeatStars for producers. So we just became cool just off that website.
So you guys linked up as the Futuristics, right? What was the name? What was the meaning behind the name change? Somebody already had the shit, it was kind of legally some other shit you had to get into?
Basically, there was another production team called the Futuristics, but they spelled it with a C instead of a K. We spelled ours with a K.
Okay.
So that was the conflict.
If you're not from LA, you ain't gonna know nothing about that. You know what I mean? But that was, you guys changed it up, and obviously now going through the signature sound, Mike and Keys, man. Whoa, goddamn, my bad. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Sorry. So talk about what do you feel like your sound is? Like, if there's a way you could describe your sound in a couple of words for the people that may not be familiar, how would you describe that sound?
I would have to describe our sound as like a mix of analog and digital. You know, new school with old school feeling.
We were talking about it before in the last panel, how, you know, there's a certain sound with the analog feel. Ali, you said you prefer the analog sound.
Of course I prefer analog because that's what I was raised off of. But one thing about these producers, like when they say old school or analog and new school shit, like the way they structure the beats, the textures, like it's ways that niggas made beats with MPCs and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just the sounds are different, and that's why I always vibe with them. Like when we're doing Victory Lap, we spent 3 months living together at Paramount. We lived together day in, day out, irritated niggas, stank, all type of crazy shit. Just had a good time doing it, but their work ethic is what kind of like latched me onto them.
So you guys obviously know each other for some time. What is it about that? Like in the studio, a lot of people don't know that process of, like you said, living together, like day in and day out. How do you not get sick of a motherfucker?
Hey Mike, tell them the whole setup at Paramount for 3 months. What, like we had rooms set up in every little, like tell them about that vibe.
We probably had rooms set up in every corner. There was a couch behind the SSL to lay down and get some rest because we wasn't leaving, and it was just good food and music.
Now the work ethic was already there, but obviously with getting this project together with the Victory Lap, what was the difference between this project, between anything else that you've ever worked on? Because obviously the work ethic was there, but being in there with Nip, what did that teach you first and foremost, and how did you apply that to your career?
Well, the first thing, that was Nipsey's first time ever getting his music actually mixed by a professional.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so it was a process. Like Nipsey and Ali argued a lot over the mix.
Well, okay, kind of give us some detail in terms of what were these conversations or arguments about?
So look, Nip is an early nigga, right? So we would literally sleep in the studio day in, day out. So he'd wake up 7, 6 a.m.
Top of the top.
Top of the top. Top of the fucking top, bro. That shit rings in my ears to this day. He'll start cleaning the studios and start just playing the music from the night before. And like Mike mentioned, Nip had never had a project mixed. Everything was just recorded and put out. So it was it was a challenge, like we talked about with Neil. It was a challenge getting him to understand the analog process and hearing songs unmastered, only the mixed version, and then hearing the master later. There was a lot of getting used to and a lot of going back and forth. But one thing that he did appreciate was the fact that it was new to him, and he was down to, okay, let me listen to what you got to say first, and then I'm gonna come back with my rebuttal later once I understand. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I do remember is he stepped back and like tried to understand the process before he understood it, and then he would question it later. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, it kind of goes in with like just personality traits. You're dealing with different people's personalities, and that's what all comes and makes, you know, beautiful art. But how do you guys deal with that in terms of personalities yourself? You know, one probably being more quiet and shyer than the other one, but obviously, you know, making more like just dealing with the different personality traits. How do you guys handle that specifically as a duo?
Well, I'm more vocal of the group, but Keys is more technical. So when we blend it, it works perfectly. So I don't never get in his way, you know, get in my way.
That's kind of interesting because a lot of the times that
This nigga don't talk for shit.
I'm gonna say you might well not even get him the mic. He just goes,
I'm gonna hold this motherfucker.
right. He's like, I was just about, what you gonna say?
I think Nip understood that, like the chemistry we had. He understood how I was and how he was. Like when he really wanted something done, he'll come to me and be like, Keith, I need you to do this real quick. But with Mike, they got so much in common. Like they smoke weed, I don't even smoke.
Got you, yeah. Well, I'm right here with you. I'm sober gang, bro. Sober gang all day. Yeah. He said, "Whoa, get out of here." Now, I mean, but I think that obviously when you hear the album, it's a classic in my opinion. Obviously, you guys agree? Victory Lap classic for sure, for sure. Walking into it, did you know the magnitude of what it was going to be from day one? Because every time, I never had the honor to be in the studio, but I've known a lot, like my boy Head, Salas, a lot of people pulled up and told me about those sessions before the album was even out. And they were just like, Chuck, it's something about that energy that's in that studio. So kind of give us some insight for the people that didn't have the honor to be there. Like, what was it about it? Was it something that was a precedent that was set from day one? Or was it something that kind of like over time?
Right. If you know Nip gonna make it. Nip is like a gypsy. Like, he gonna make home wherever he lay his head at. Like, and that's what he did. Like, I was in New York when he called me, like, Ali, it's time. You know, just real quick, a back history on, like, I'm sorry that I know this is y'all shit. Let me speak my shit. But like me, like the history of me and Nip go back from like 08, 07. Back when Game went on tour and did his LAX tour for the album LAX, he took J-Rock and Nipsey Hussle as his support acts. So like we were like in Seattle, like faded niggas at the after parties. Like we've been had history, but when he called me when he called me time to do Victory Lap, that's when I knew it was serious, right? Because Victory Lap has been out. It was almost like Detox.
Yeah.
For so many years, Victory Lap was just talked about, but this one Nip was on his business shit. You know, he was trapped away doing his shit, getting his businesses straight. So the music kind of, in my opinion, it would have felt like music kind of took the back a little bit. So when we first started mixing the album, you know, this is the first time we really linked. And just seeing everybody from fucking, you know, 1500 to nothing, Rance and all the guys coming through, it just became like it was LA. If you could package up Los Angeles and put it into one studio, that's what it was. This nigga's getting beat up on the outside, this nigga's getting robbed in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? This tequila going around, this nigga's passed out drunk on the couch, and we mixing the album, and like that vibe is like, it's unmatched. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of vibe to create that album, and you can feel the energy of that album when you play it. It was like a party. I'm talking about, me and Mike had this joke called Smoke Yours, you know what I'm saying? Because in them studios, nigga, like your weed is your weed, and you better smoke it for somebody else for his. You better smoke yours, nigga. Like it was just the vibes, the feelings, the stories. Like, you know, it was like a brotherhood bond that, you know, that I feel like Nip put us all together for a reason, and you know, we're all here because of it, you know.
For sure, and I do want to get down with those conversations, those arguments, because I think that's important too for, you know, having the shit that you know you're good at, you know what you're good at, and fighting for that. I think that's one thing a lot of people don't necessarily, they talk about it, but kind of give us some of those conversations. If there's a song, a particular part of a mix or a beat, or you like, no, it's gotta be like this, and that actually played out on the album.
Well, we knew once we got in the studio with Ali that Nipsey wasn't gonna 100% understand what Ali was doing because it was a transition from vocals, beats. So the beginning stage of it was difficult until we got in the groove together and Nipsey understood that Ali knew exactly what he was doing.
So what was the part for you that you had to convince him about? Like, what was the things that he didn't understand as an artist? Obviously, that is okay with understanding like how the process is. I know he wants the album to be out. I know he wants the shit to be done. So Ali, maybe you can break it down. Like, what are the things that you guys argued about?
You gotta realize, like, Nip go from a place from having 2-track beats sent from the producer and the engineer recording over the 2-track beats, then bouncing that out and sending it to the internet. Like, there was no process in any of his in any album before Victory Lap. There was no mixing process. So going from that to me mixing analog, breaking shit down onto a board, taking 15 hours to finish one song. Like, niggas are looking at me like, yo, this nigga's crazy right now. Like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? Like, he wasting all my studio time. But, you know, once we start getting the masters back and we start really dissecting and understanding, like, the sound that we're bringing, that's when I felt like Nip started to, like, do more research on his own. Like yo, like, Ali doing what Dre used to do back in the day. Like, this is gonna be some different, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what, like, going into any project that we all work on, it's more of, like, giving a piece of your life. Like, you gotta really chip off a piece of your life to dedicate that towards that project, and that's what we did. We literally spent 3 fucking months living together, finishing Victory Lap. And, you know, every song was argued about, every song, every mix was, you know, we had to go back and forth on it, but that's what made that album so great. Takeaway that I had from the album, it brought me back to the days of, you know, doing To Pimp a Butterfly, or doing Good Kid, Mad City, to where you had round circles of niggas that were creatives, like giving their every input on you know, everything was talked about. And I think that's what's missing in today's music. There's not too many collectives, or there's not too many creatives that are really just like putting their all into a project. It's all about quantity, not quality.
But I want to know specifically, what did you argue about? I want to know what's one of the things, if there's a particular song or...
So if you guys know, just the whole album, so if you guys know analog, when I'm mixing in the board, and my final mixes, they probably around like -10 to -15 dBs, right? So Nip was used to hearing his mixes straight out of Pro Tools, distorted, loud, and limited, and all type of loud shit, and it wasn't that. So Nip's whole thing is he was discouraged in the beginning because he thought that my low mixes that were waiting to get mastered were going to be the finals, and that wasn't the case. So he was listening to my main mixes without masters on them, and he's comparing those with songs that are on the radio now. So they're super low, and he was like, yo, Ali, this ain't sitting right, yeah. Like, he was, you know what I'm saying, hey, something ain't right, something ain't right. And he'll be panicking, and it's like, luckily I had niggas like Mike and Keys that would be like, nah, that's just a part of the process. Like, before it gets released, we gotta go through mastering, we gotta go through the final stage of the things. But it was like, that's the main thing, is just the level of things. Because, like, you gotta realize, going from a digital way of creating music to now you're going this analog route, which is ancient. You know, it was a lot of getting used to from everybody.
Was it tough for you guys to have that conversation, or once he knew that you guys, you know, you guys are in there in the studio all the time, you guys sitting there convincing him, did he listen to you more and say, okay, oh, I finally get it, or was it even on your end kind of low heavy?
At first it was tricky because he was like, why is it sounding different? And we just like, you gotta wait. It's a process of, you know, he's never heard his vocals mixed. It's different when you just put it out, like Ali said with the 2-track, but when it's mixed, it just sounds different. And we already knew it was gonna sound different. We was just waiting to see what Nip was gonna say.
Gotcha. Do you remember that first session, or that first time when he actually heard it in its entirety? Not the album, but a particular song. And for him, it was like, oh, I get it now. Was there a particular song, or was it after all?
In my opinion, it was at the end of the sessions, like, we were all drunk off 1942 every night. Like, it was more of a party than mixing. Like, niggas would pull up 10, 11 o'clock p.m. just to drink. But at that time, it's like the album was mixed and it was mastered, and we would just listen to it top to bottom. Like it'll be 15-hour sessions of niggas playing the album back for 15 more niggas. Like it was just a constant replay. And that's when Nip was just like, yo, like I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Mike and Keith, what did you guys learn about yourselves throughout this, the process of making the album? How did you push yourselves to be better producers and learn different things throughout the process?
I think this was the first time where like an artist trusted us with
To handle a whole
everything. With just like there would be some days Nipsey wasn't there, it was just us and Ali. So he had to really trust that we were gonna make sure it was correct and how he heard it. So I think as a producer, the number one thing is the artist to trust you to get the job done.
I mean, and that's so key, man.
Let me speak on just that one as a producer. So there's this thing I call the trifecta. You know, to create a legacy or to create, you know, a classic project or just to create just good energy in the creation process, there's a trifecta of the artist, the engineer, and the producer. It's like a triangle, you know what I'm saying? And I talk about being collaborative. I talk about just working with your peers. I talk about just networking with the people around you. That's what it takes to create a good record. There's too many creatives that think, you know, that song is big because of me. Like, nah, that's not the case. You gotta humble yourself, kid. Like, it takes the trifecta of the engineer, the producer, and the artist. You know, there's an analogy I speak about in our workshops, in our Seeing Sounds workshops. And, you know, an artist, you know, creating a song is like going on a road trip with your homeboys or your homegirls, you know? The artist knows where they want to go, but it's up to the producers and engineers to take them there. You get what I'm saying? So once you have that relationship with the artists, the producers, and the engineers, once you have that dialogue, once you have that energy of working with each other, that's when everything starts to prosper because you guys are linked in, you guys are in sync at that point. You know, building a team is very vital in today's music, you know what I'm saying?
Now, since this was your first time being trusted to handle a whole project, do you prefer doing that, like going all in, or do you like working with artists on just particular songs, or do you like the process of being in control of the whole project? Or is there a preference for you?
I think it's like both. Whatever we try to go, whatever the energy or the vibe is, that's usually what works for us. Whoever, any artist, whoever it is.
And let her talk. Yeah, hold on.
I'm trying to get G up here, Nipsey Engineer. Where G at? Where G at?
Come on. You're part of this too, man. Now give it up. Give it up. Wait, hold on. Okay, you was talking. I want to make sure. We ain't never heard you speak. I want to make sure you say some shit.
Oh no, just to bounce off what Mike was saying, the whole trust factor was a big part of making the album. And I think Slauson Boy too, that was the first time he actually got his songs mixed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so once we did the Victory Lap with Ali, I think everything worked out.
Gotcha, man. Obviously, it's real receptive. And, you know, Grammy nominated. You know what I mean? How was that for you to get that? Like all the work that was put in, and to finally, not that you guys do it for that, because I know there's a certain part of it's like it's the art, you love it. But for it to actually be received well, you know, what was you guys' impressions of that?
I mean, we was excited just because nobody thought Nipsey's album was coming out. So that was like, when it came out, we was like, man, we're seeing it. That was the biggest thing for us. I know for G, more than anybody, G sat with Nip more than anybody.
Talk about that process for you, G, man. Like you said, everybody was talking about how they didn't think it was gonna come out, and you know, it was years upon years upon years, and you being there for the longest of anybody, man. How was that for you to actually be a part of the process, work on it? What were some of your takeaways?
Well, we have been working on Victory Lap.
Talk a little closer, my bad.
My bad. We have been working on Victory Lap since, I guess, before Crenshaw. So a lot of the songs that came out on Crenshaw were initially intended to be on Victory Lap, quote unquote. So Check Me Out and a whole bunch of songs. So really what happened was a lot of the arguments that we would have weren't about, because by the time we got to mixing, like, he knew what Ali could do, you know what I mean? So it wasn't really about that, it was just really about what songs and trying to make sure that we didn't put out another mixtape and put these songs, because we had Right Hand of God and Real Big and a lot of songs from, since Crenshaw. I mean, so we try to make sure that we didn't have these songs come out on mixtapes because, you know, a lot of people put a lot of work.
I'm glad you said that. So is there a song that came out and you was like, fuck, like why y'all drop that now? Which songs for each of you were you like, damn, I mean, I'm glad you released it, but that could have been held up for the debut?
I thought Ocean View should have been on the album.
You said Sucker Proof? That was you, Ali? What about you, G?
Honestly, like a lot of the arguments were keeping songs on Victory Lap. So he was about to, I think, Mailbox Money, we were about to lose Right Hand of God.
Wow.
That was like, because we had just added the horns on Rancid, you know, and like the horns were
Get the
added.
fuck out of here.
So we're like, and I've seen, I came from 1500 to nothing before I started working with Hussle. So I remember the sessions when horns were being added. And you're like, okay, if horns come out on this, I just know the amount of hours and time put on these songs when Nip wasn't there. And Nip was just going by the song on something, this is what, you know what, let's put this on the mixtape, let's put this out. And I'm like, you know what, let's just hold this for the album because I feel like this is, and then, you know, a couple songs on Crenshaw were like, you know, it was because we didn't expect Crenshaw to come out as much as we were waiting for Victory Lap. So we heard things and we're like, oh, okay.
Now, what are some of the things as a producer and as engineers like that you challenge yourself and you were willing to hear the feedback from the artists and just amongst yourselves to take a chance on something? You know, we're all kind of stuck in our ways personality-wise, but there's some things that you know, just are innate in you. But what are certain things that you guys kind of took that allowed you to say, okay, you know what, yeah, I'll consider that and try it, and it end up working out?
I think, you know, we had a studio together, us and MCG, so we were constantly, you know, communicating with each other every day about what we should be doing or new ways. You know, everyone knows G he's always on the new sounds, new effects, so we always talking to G just to, you know, keep our creativity going. So that's, I mean, that's very important.
In terms of studying though, like how are you keeping up with those sounds? And this is a question for G as well, like how are you tapping into what's new, what's the latest? Are there websites you go into? Are you listening to different people's sounds? Or like, I'm asking this, I'm asking this only because I'm not from that world, so I know you guys can break it down for me. And it's some shit, if it's like, yo, that's the code, we don't tell that shit, then cool. But I just, you know, I'm curious in how the process behind what you do, you know what I mean? And if it is that, I'm not telling people, then that's what it is.
It's really just a community and just being around other producers and engineers, and everybody's gonna, as an engineer, you see what other people are using, and then you just, oh, okay, oh, and sometimes you'll have something and not use it, and then you see somebody swear by it, and at that point you're like, hold on, let me, oh, okay, this is for hi-hats, put this on this, and you're like, oh, okay, I see what that is, and it's just not hiding, it's just being around good people that don't hide the magic, you know what I mean? Because and everybody's gonna do the magic trick a different way, you know what I mean? But if you know how you do it, it's just like, oh, okay, let me add this, and then you share that with somebody else, and then they'll share something with you, and then next thing you know, you got a whole list of added information.
Hey, real quick, man, sharing information is key, you feel me? A lot of people, like when I was coming up, I was in Fabian's DMs, I was in Guru DMs, I'm in all these niggas DMs trying to get this something, right? Pause. So don't ever feel like there's nothing that you gotta hoard or keep behind, because we're all after the same thing, and that's advancement of good quality audio. Just don't forget that. All these monetary gains are just here for the moment, but good music's gonna last forever. Remember that. Fuck what you want.
I mean, that's about pushing the culture forward too. I mean, that's what this platform is all about, and I think that's so key that they said that, and we were talking about that earlier. Ali was just getting on it, like, yo, you know, somebody can give you their sound, or you can have a certain thing, but it's on time. It's on you to take that and make your own thing from it. When did you guys first realize, like, okay, this is my sound, like that you can hold on to it and say, yo, this is me? Because to be honest, when you get in, it's like you want to sound like this person. You kind of want to sound like you want to do the things and have the accolades of the people that you aspire to be. But at one point in your career, did you feel like, okay, I kind of stand on my own too, and this is me. This is Mike and Keys. This is G.
I think once we did Check Me Out for Nip, that was like one of our main songs that we knew, like, yeah, this is our sound, because that's what Nip told us. He was like, you guys should stick with that. Like, that's your guys' sound, and I want that for me. You know what I mean?
That's your sound. Make sure you make that shit for me.
Yeah.
Nice. Crazy. What about you, G? It could be a specific song, or it could be a memory, it could be something somebody told you, but just one at that moment when you're like, okay, yeah, I got some shit. I've kind of discovered my thing.
I mean, it's just doing it for years, and once you get to a point where like you can appreciate it, other people give you appreciation for what you do. Then you're like, okay, you know, I think I might have something here, but it's never one specific thing. I do remember that Check Me Out, and you know that song. Yeah,
wow, see?
That was from 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah, so it was.
First time getting played on the radio. What do you remember about those moments? Where were you at? What were you doing? Oh,
that was an exciting moment. You know, shout out to LA Leakers. They were the first ones to play those songs. So a lot of support came from them.
Yeah.
And that was a great feeling, like hearing all the hard work we did and
actually go out through them speakers.
Yeah, exactly. So that felt great.
That's what's up, man. I do want to make sure we get to some questions. Any questions you guys out there, specific ones for G or Mike and Keys? Got one in the back right here. State your name and your question.
All right, I'm Mandela. I have a question for Ali. You're definitely a mentor of mine. I've watched all your work, brother. And as an engineer, an up-and-coming engineer and artist, someone that's an artist and engineer and producer trying to kind of balance that, what would you suggest to focus on first? Because I do have a studio business as well. And it's tough to balance it all.
Focus on your most powerful trait. If your bars are crazy as a rapper, focus on that. If your mixes is impeccable, focus on that. If your beats is smacking, focus on that. You know what I'm saying? But once you find that one trait that you're gonna focus on, and you put your 100 into that, find you a team to kind of help lift the burden on the other things you left behind. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it, brother. I'm an engineer. I want to give you my card before I leave here.
I'll fuck with you.
Take my shot. I'll take my shot.
I fuck with that. Hey. I'll take it if you take a shot of tequila.
Shoot your shot, take a shot. That's what we doing.
Now I got you, brother. Off top. So you say your mixing is your best trait? There it is. If you just finesse me, I fuck with you for doing that.
Are there any engineers out here right now? Any engineers?
Anybody?
Hey, y'all, look, check this out. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. You guys got some folks right here that can potentially change your life, change your career. Don't be on no cool shit right now, because you may not get this opportunity. If there's a question that you have, without trying, shoot your shot, but please.
I'm gonna tell you, the drunk Ali is way nicer than the high Ali.
Trust, facts. You got a question? I got it.
I'm Frank. This is for Mike and Keys. Do you guys have any tips for new and up and coming producers just started?
I would definitely say, strive to be yourself, and you get inspired by other producers or whatnot, but don't copy them. Like, just take what you can take and make it yours. That's the advice I would definitely give.
And I would listen to everything. Like, whatever sounds good, that's what you should listen to.
Thank you.
My name is Jesse from Mike Keys. What's the balance between doing too much with production? A lot of times you hear simpler is better for production base, and you know when you're going into it, you don't want to. At least new people producing, it seems like they're always doing too many sounds, too much going on at once. What's kind of the key to kind of cut back on that but still make a banger?
Well, I think you got to think about the artist first, because that's the most important. They're the center of the music, and the music surrounds them. So, yeah, basically think about the artist. Like, if you hear too many sounds, and the artist is gonna conflict with that. So, I agree. Yeah, just think about the artist. Thank you.
Question for Mike and Keys. Like for a producer that's sending like if a record does get picked up by artists, do you send them the best mix possible before it goes to like master, or you just put like I don't know, like just something to get by?
I think a lot of the time with our music, we always try to have it prepared as if it was going out tomorrow. So I would say treat it as if it was going out tomorrow. Sure.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? My name's CJ. I have a quick question. I know with engineering and making music in general, it's a good mix of doing what you already know how to do and also kind of keeping up with the quote-unquote standard. Like, how do you guys like prepare for that, keeping up with the quote-unquote industry standard, or do you really just innovate and do things as you go along?
Well, we just try to be as different as possible, you know. The industry standard, we try not to pay attention to that, you know. We try to be ourselves and continue to be creative, but I don't know,
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of just do what we feel and just go from there. I mean, obviously, you know, in music, there's so many people that make dope music. You're gonna be inspired by it, but you should be inspired to make your own music.
And before we close things out, when it comes to working with different artists and projects, do you have to shut down and give, like with Victory Lap, for example? Was there any other things you were working on, or it was all just Victory Lap? And if not, can you or are you able to work on different projects? Is that a thing? Like, are you guys able to handle that?
I think for us, we're more effective working on multiple projects at one time because we're going to put all our energy and thought into that. So I think it's better when we create like that.
What, one project, one artist, or multiple?
Like, it can be 3 or 4 projects.
Wow. Okay. So with Victory Lap, were you working on other things as well?
We were working on Buddy's album.
Wow.
like literally, like right after we did Victory Lap, we worked on Buddy's album.
Wow.
Right after.
And do you translate certain things to the next project, or is it like literally you shut things off for this one and go to work on the other one?
Well, it was funny. Neil Pogue was here. We did Victory Lap with Ali, and then we did Buddy's album with Neil.
Wow.
So it was, the process was, you know, we got to be on point.
Yeah.
Because we're working with the real professionals.
What was one thing that was different from Neil that was different from Ali, or vice versa? Or, you know, is there anything that stands out?
What you think?
I mean, they're both really good. Neil doesn't drink 1942.
There it is. That's it. There it is. The vibes are different. All right. Well, for the folks that want to contact you,
The vibes.
for the folks that want to contact you, reach out with you, maybe possibly work or do some things and connect, how can they do that? Are you open to it? Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, just like anything, I mean, we'll reach out to anybody, so I would expect, you know, just, you gotta go take for what you want. So you can reach out on Twitter, Instagram, and, you know,
Mike and Keys. Find him, man. Mike and T Keys, y'all give it up for him. Make some noise. Shouts out to homie G as well. Appreciate the knowledge, appreciate the conversation. We're gonna continue the conversation in just a few. Shouts out to Ali, EngineEars. EngineEars, you hear me? Y'all give it up for one more time, please.